Shalom, everybody. It's Brian Graham coming at you with a part 2 to Warlocks in the Whitehouse. We found I read some pretty interesting information to you on part 1, but today we're going to continue on, and I'm going to put a spell on you. Put a spell on you. Check this out. Right here, let's take a look at, I googled here, Lincoln hidden hand. We know in Freemasonry that they're known for the hidden hand sign. You can see here Lincoln over here with the hidden hand. You could Google famous people with the hidden hand, but this is John Wilkes Booth that actually supposedly shot Lincoln. So they're both in the same secret society. So really, could they both be actors maybe? But we'll continue on down through here and just kind of check out some different images. Here's the hidden hand Masonic sign here. This is in their book. But we're going to learn today about what does this really mean. What does the hidden hand mean? Let's see, I was thinking there was another image I wanted to... but a lot of famous, all Masons, hidden hand, the hidden hand. The Knights of the Golden Circle. You should study these elite, find out who they really are. But again, we're drawing a connection. Eventually, we're going to tie a connection between Abraham Lincoln and Donald Trump, showing that they were both warlocks, aka MAGA or Magi. But just kind of wanted to show you that the hidden hand, Masonic sign, they're all showing it to you in plain sight, hidden in plain sight. But let's take a look at some information that I found to be interesting. These are some common questions about Lincoln. Is Lincoln making the American Sign Language signs for his initials? And we'll read this little part right here. There's y'all gave me a hidden treasure there that I'd like to share with you. In my research down this rabbit hole, I picked up a good treasure. But let's take a look at this. Not really, but that doesn't stop people from wondering. The sculptor Daniel Chester French intended to show Lincoln's physical and mental strength and his confidence through the sculpture's posture and features. Lincoln's left hand is clenched. You see it here. Let me make this bigger. Okay. But we see his hand here clenched, while his right hand curled around the end of the armrest. They're all about symbolism and sign language. His index finger slightly lifted from the chair. The first echoes themes of strength and power found elsewhere in the memorial as faces, lines, and oak leaves, and the gentle right hand echoes themes of charity, compassion, and fertility found in the memorial's paintings. The comparison to ASL likely stems from the knowledge that French Prior's work includes a sculpture of Thomas Hawkins Gaudet, founder of Gaudet University, and French overtly included sign language. In the Gaudet sculpture, Gaudet is teaching a young girl the letter A, which they are signing to one another. It takes some imagination to see signs in Lincoln's hands. Now, I'm going to show you this Gaudet sculpture right here. once you understand that the letter A is the first letter that we learn in school, it's the most important, as it's a symbol of the Creator. It's his symbol. It's the first. And it's the all-seeing eye. The elite stole this symbol and used it to their advantage, but this is the Creator's symbol here, which they are signing to one another. Okay, now I'm going to take you over and show you this statue or this sculpture, and let's see what we can. So he's showing her the most important thing that she'll ever learn is this letter A. But here's the sculpture here. This isn't a very good image, but we're going to take a look at what it says on here. Okay, right here. Well, this is one where you can see she's got her hand on the good book, the Bible, and then she's got the letter A. Without knowing the A, she couldn't understand anything in this book. That's why it's laying on her heart, because by learning the letter A, she was able to continue learning so that she could read and learn this book. But see if we can find any better images. Then we'll go over here and take a look at what it actually says on the. But again, in this, he's got his his 3 fingers here, and then got his index finger slightly out. But here on the, I guess you'd call it the pedestal of the sculpture, who is the letter A? Who is he showing to her? He's showing to her the secret that the secret societies keep from mankind, and he's showing her that the A is her friend, her teacher, and her benefactor. Now, I've heard, the word benefactor through my life, but I said, what is? I guess just somebody giving you money or something. But let's take a look at who he is showing to her. Let's see if we can see let's analyze what the word benefactor means. A person who gives money or other help to a person or cause. So is Yah a person who gives to a person that has a cause? He's showing her the Creator in that sculpture. I'd like to look at, here we go. I was looking for some synonyms. A patron, promoter, a champion, a donor. I mean, are these not a friend, an angel? He's showing her the Creator. It's what the Freemasons, all your secret societies hide from you. It's the true Hebrew name of the Creator. But we're getting ready to read something we're going to learn about what this hidden hand, I'm going to try to make this a little bigger. I'd love for you guys just to kind of read along with me. We'll get it. Maybe we can do it right here. 4. Hidden hand of the men of Jehobeam, or whatever this word right here is. I'm almost afraid to pronounce it, and you'll see as we read. In fact, I won't pronounce it. We'll just read through and you'll see it there. Because the higher trinity of man's being must be present before soul union can take place, the omnific royal arch word can only be given in groups of 3. Their right hands are then raised above their heads, or they give at low breath the word. And you see it here. You see another spelling of it here. And then you who they're talking about. And this is ancient masonry. Now let's continue on. This is a pretty lengthy article, but you've got to hear what this hidden hand means. The greatest but the most terrible moment in the life of a Mason. The three supreme officials of the lodge with three separate keys unlock the wooden box with the secret of secrets and give him to read a slip of paper upon which is written the name of, quote, God, whose follower he was, the axis of death. Over many years of exposing the lies and evils of Freemasonry, the Ordo Templi Orientis, the Rosicrucians, and other treacherous cultic secret societies, I have been challenged by many Masons. Their typical complaint is, "How dare you say such things about Masonry? Why, I have you know I am a Christian, and there is nothing in the lodge or its rituals that would not be acceptable to my Christian faith." See, Christians are part of the secret society, they just don't know it. They got drafted in or sucked in or tricked in by spell. And we're going to learn more about that. Of course, it is super easy, almost like taking candy from a baby, to disabuse the... I'm going to reduce this. Okay. Of course, it is super easy, almost like taking candy from a baby, to disabuse the Masonic whiner and complainer, hollering that you or I have slandered the Masons by denying their orders Christian attributes. After all, there are scores of points to make that blow apart the silly notion that the Masonic Lodge or simpler groups are even vaguely Christian in nature. But the easiest way to handle such a complaint is to ask the Mason if he has reached the Royal Arch Mason ritual level equivalent, 13th degree in the Scottish Rite. If he answers yes, then oh yeah, he is in big trouble. What about this God? I then ask him about the name of his sacred God revealed in the Royal Arch degree ritual. That is, I ask him about, and usually I can hear either a long, uninterrupted stutter or simply a great gasping sound. Generally, that ends the discussion right there. A Mason definitely does not want to publicly discuss that name. Anything but, bam, he's gone, and I can understand why. A friend of mine who is an ex-Mason or ex-Mormon now heads up a Christian ministry aimed at helping men get out of these cults. In a book that Ed edited entitled The Dark Side of Freemasonry, that the Mason is at first denied knowledge of the sacred name of their God, and then belatedly finds out that the name of the Mason deity is definitely not the name above all other name, the lost name of God. The Blue Lodge Masons, encompassing the first 3 degrees of Masonry, are instructed that they are seeking the lost world or the lost name. It's not lost, it's on everything they do. It's hidden in plain sight. At the top of all their altars, you usually see the name above all names sitting right up in the top of their ark. It isn't until they reach the level of the Royal Arch Mason, 7th degree York Rite, that they discover that the lost name of God wasn't lost at all. It's at the level that they learn the sacred name of Masonry's God. To find that sacred name of the Masonic God, it is composed of three names representing the three deities of God. It is also sacred. It takes the three Royal Arch Masons to be able to speak it. The three Masons grip hands high and low and chant, boom, boom, boom. The name has three syllables representing a composite God made up of three subordinate deities. The Masonic material identifies the three as Yah, Baal, and Osiris. Logically, the name should be spelled Yah. You see on here, I don't want to say it, but look here closely. But the Duncan's Masonic ritual and monitor admits that over the years the spelling has been corrupted by the Freemasonry until it reached its current form. Decker correctly asserts that what these men are doing is worshiping a demon god, so far removed from the real God that this worship must surely defile the holiness of God and guarantee those who pronounce that name in such a ceremony a swift ride to hell. C.C. Zane, a Freemason who is part of a group called the Brotherhood of Light. Really, this is Brotherhood of Darkness. They've turned everything upside down and backwards, so the Brotherhood of Light is really the Brotherhood of Darkness, is the developer and author of an entire course of ancient Masonry having to do with the spiritual significance of Masonic rituals, decrees, and symbols. Zane points out that the name is a Masonry's grand omnific word, the name of their omnipotent deity. He further shows that the significance of the fact that the name has 9 letters and is made up of 3 syllables, this, and this. In the ritual for the Royal Arch degree, since there are 3 Royal Arch Masons pronouncing the name 3 times each, there's something about 3 times each. It's why musicians have it a lot of times in their songs. If they can get you to say something 3 times each, it puts a curse on you. But let's see. In the ritual, the Royal Arch degree, since there are 3 Royal Arch Masons pronouncing the name 3 times each, although, says Zion, 27 syllables are pronounced. This, he explains, represent the 27 days it takes the moon to pass through the circle of the zodiac signs. What do you want to bet me what they're saying right here is blasphemy of the whole of the Ruach HaKodesh, what the Christians call the Holy Spirit? But I'll bet you that they're having them blaspheme the Holy Spirit or the Ruach HaKodesh. Interesting, in the ritual drama, the 3 Masons doing the pronouncing of this name are said to have come from Babylon. So we have a ritual, the 13th degree in Scottish Rite on the 7th in the York Rite, in which 3 Masons come from Babylon to instruct the candidate on how to build the Royal Arch, symbolically how to rebuild the Jewish temple in Jerusalem and thus establish the kingdom of the elite and their devil god on earth. The lost word found. Moreover, the 3 messengers from Babylon informed the candidate that the true name of God, the name that had been lost for so long, is not Jesus, but is this name here. They conveniently omit mention of the fact that this is in fact the name of the monstrous devil god. They're calling the creator the devil god. That the name is an unholy and blasphemous composite of Yahweh, Baal, and Osiris, or On. You should pay close attention. You should study what the word On means. Well, we're going to tell us. On is a city in Egypt where the worship of the sun god Osiris is alleged to have begun. Somehow many in the Masonry today honor and revere Osiris under the name of On. the name of his city, curiously spelled UN in the name of this name here. Now, notice in this word, notice here that you have ON and curiously spelled UN. You know, like the United Nations. Now, in this word UN, there's a vowel and a consonant. The N didn't change, but cause it's consonant, consonant. The U is a vowel, so it changes in words. The vowels can change. They're wild. No wonder Masonic authority W.L. Wimshurst, in his High Thought of by Masons, the meaning of Masonry, proclaims that this degree so vital to the transformation of the candidate's life. This is the degree where he loses it, buddy. He sells his soul to the devil. He even suggests that in attaining this degree, one exhibits the attainment of a new order of life. He giving himself to the beast. The Royal Arch degree, Wimshurst emphasizes, provides a supremely high level of thought and instruction for the Mason obtaining it. Born again or demon possessed. What does Wimshurst mean when he says the adept has obtained a new order of life? Remember I told you they turn everything upside down and backwards? So it's a new order of death. I believe the candidate receives a counterfeit born-again experience, receiving the very Kundalini spirit of Lucifer into his bosom as a result of conforming to the requirements of this degree. His allegiance is to the Pope, the man god, and soon I think will be Trump, because the Pope, the dragon's going to give his power over to the beast, so the Pope, I think, is going to give his power over to Trump and let him rule the world. In accepting the devil god, and then they use that word again. My mouse is acting funny. Let's see if I can get it to straighten out. Giving love lessons, the God here as the sacred name of God, and the man rising to this level in Masonry or similar sect become demon possessed, full of the devil, headed for hell, prepared to do the most wicked and foul deeds possible for his hidden deity, Baphomet, aka Lucifer, aka Satan, aka, see the J here? Stay away from the letter J. It's a hook. It's an upside down shepherd's staff. It's anti. Moses would have carried his staff the other way. Now the fatal ending in the spiritual death sign that is taught for this degree is the one you will find men giving in photographs in this chapter. Notably, on higher level initiates and adepts will typically be seen giving this evil sign, stamping them as demon-possessed disciples of Satan. I call this sign the hidden hand of the men of, and I wouldn't recommend saying this word right here. From Washington to Rothschild, your very first founder of the United States, regrettably, America's first president, George Washington, exhibited this sign if the painter of one of his most famous portraits is to be believed. Subsequently, presidents, men like Franklin Pierce and Rutherford Hayes, were disciples of. Your founding fathers were Christians. This should tell you what they were, as was President Teddy Roosevelt. We also have communists Karl Marx, Vladimir Lenin, and Joseph Stalin giving the same hand sign. They're all part of the same secret society, the big secret society. Plus Napoleon, Solomon Rothschild, and many others whose images and pictures you will find in the ensuing pages as they perform this devilish sign. Wine from a human skull. Many facets and activities pertaining to this degree's ritual stamp it as a pure Luciferian and its holder as Lucifer worship. During the initiation into the 7th degree Royal Archmason, the York Rite, or 13th degree Scottish Rite, the candidate drinks wine from a human skull. I'd say that it's really blood. By this monstrous act, he reinforces the fact that he is taking an oath swearing to, quote, have his skull struck off and his brains exposed to the scorching rays of a medium sun, unquote. Should he ever divulge Masonic secrets. He goes on to demand that if he does divulge secrets, may all the sins of a dead person whose skull he is drinking from be heaped upon the candidate's head. So we see that the Masons' newfound, quote, God, and then you see this word again. My mouse is whacked. It is a rigid taskmaster who does not look kindly on traitors and blabbers. It was the Canaanite god Baal, of course, to whom the black slidden Jews and pagans sacrificed their children in the fire. You'll recall that the prophet Elijah brought the message of Yah's judgment against those who worship bloodthirsty Baal, who in reality is merely an idolatrous representation of Satan. Yes, Baal is the devil. To attempt in vain to combine the name of the true God with that of false gods like Baal and On is particular evil and grievous to the true God in heaven, Yah. Yet the Mason does exactly this with this, and then compounds his grave error by adopting one of his chief logos, the signs of the double-headed eagle. This is the rising phoenix, symbolizing one body of God but two heads. The triple Ta. Yet another proof of the deviltry of this hoax is the symbol of the triple Ta. Think Trump, 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 which is the most important symbol of the Royal Arch degree, made up of three interlocking T's, symbols. Where you at, mouse? These three are said to represent a triad of sacred Jewish powers of king, priest, and prophet. In other words, the Mason assumes a trinity of Jewish spiritual powers. Actually, this trinity of Jews is the competition with the true Godhead of the Bible, Father, Son, and they say Holy Spirit. The triple Ta is the most significant symbol or logo of the Royal Arch Mason. It represents the Mason who has reached either the 7th degree of the York Rite or 13th degree of the Scottish Rite as embodying within the attributes of the Godhead or Holy Trinity by blasphemous declaring him to be the great I am, that I am. Thus identifying himself with Satan's promise in the garden, you shall be as gods. I am that I am, the Mason proclaims. Equally blasphemous is that in the lecture on the 7th Royal Arch degree of the York Rite, the Mason initiate is asked the question, are you a Royal Arch Mason? His answer is required to be, I am that I am. He's saying, I am God. So he's blaspheming the real creator by saying he is a creator. In other words, in this degree, the ritual the Mason has not only acknowledged that the devil, in the guise of this word here, is his sacred Lord, but he is now declaring that he himself, a mere man, is the great I am. In other words, he is saying, I am God, uncovering the hidden hand. Now you see why I entitled this chapter The Hidden Hand of Men of this word here. In the early degrees, the Mason is told that the name of God has been lost. So when he first comes in, they start off by just flat out lying to him. He is even told that he should use a substitute name for God. And they give him this word. I haven't studied this word, but this will be interesting to study. But later, after he's swallowed whole the rotten fabric of degree ritual after degree ritual, the bamboozled and I can't say that word, but notice the word pagan in the middle of it. Fellow is finally told that the one he is to worship goes by this name right here, and that he is now ready to declare himself a man as the great I am. Obviously, the Illuminati's Masonic elite do not want the general public to know these terrible things. After all, incredibly, Freemasonry's public image is that it's some kind of a Christian group. So the pretense must be maintained and the secrets buttoned up from the profane and vulgar masses, you and me, dear reader. I gotta have a drink here, guys. Excuse me. What do you think so far? Therefore, the name of the horrible God whom the Masons worship must stay hidden. They don't want nobody knowing who this God is they worship. The name and identity of the hidden God must be concealed at all costs, and thus an appropriate hand sign has been devised to represent this grotesque cover-up, the sign of the hidden hand. He's showing he's a slave. He now has an owner. He has to do whatever they tell him to do. If Satan wants him to sacrifice his firstborn son, then he got to sacrifice his firstborn son. Sign of the master of the second veil. How to perform the sign. Figure 34 shown here is taken directly from Duncan's Masonic Ritual and Monitor 3rd edition. It pictures the Royal Archmason performing the magical sign of the Master of the Second Veil, which I formerly more informally call here the sign of the hidden hand of the men of. According to Duncan's, the candidate represents this sign when he is approached by 3 sojourners from Babylon. Their objective, rebuild the Temple of Solomon in Jerusalem and eventually establish a world empire of Jews. Talking about the Jews from the synagogue of Satan. That's what the Bible calls it. In his teaching course on ancient masonry, C.C. Zane of the Brotherhood of Darkness explains that the ritual for this decree requires a keen understanding of astrology, but its performance is said to be derived from a passage in the scriptures. The sign is made, writes Zane, by thrusting the hand into the bosom and again drawing it out. The official Masonic explanation for this sign, a myth intended to divert the profane from the truth, and that it refers to the 4th chapter of the Exodus in the Bible. And Yah said unto Moses, put now thy hand into thy bosom. And when he put his hand into the bosom, and when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. That's a deep understanding there. And I was trying to think of the YouTube channel where these this man and wife, man, they explain that to you. Leprous, they're plagued, they're cursed. They're showing you that They're cursed, and the sad part is they're showing you that they know it. They know their destination is the pit. They know it. So therefore, what they have left is to deceive as many people as they possibly can, because they're doomed to the pit anyway. They're going to try to take as many people as they friends as they want. Da, 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 da. Leprous indeed is the hand of the mason who vainly seeks to hide and cover up his Fide's oath of allegiance to this name here, his sacred God. But believe me, there is no relationship of the mason to Moses, a prophet of Yah, who loyally worship the true I am, Yah, who reigns all eternal in heaven. But here's some Knights of the Christian mark. Look here. He's got his hand in his jacket right here, and it says here, Knights of the Christian mark. He's telling you, I've got the mark of the beast. I'm going in the pit, and I know it. They tricked them into taking the mark. Look at them. George Washington. I didn't realize that was old George Washington right here. Yeah. His God was Lucifer, Satan, whatever that name is there. George Washington in a Masonic pose. Around his neck is the emblem of the moon goddess, feminine complement to the sun god Osiris. He's telling you who he worships. Secretly worshipped in occult Freemasonry. This emblem, combined with a diamond-shaped device just above it, indicates that Washington had taken the vow of vengeance to all enemies of the Order of the Illuminati. So no matter what this man wanted to do, he done what they told him. Just like in today's government, you think your vote counts? That's a crazy. I mean, when you start using your common sense that Yah gave you, you got to pick between two of Satan's candidates. Are you feel special about that? Satan created Republican and Democrat to divide. I wanted to see what they was talking about, the diamond-shaped device just above this emblem, combined with the diamond-shaped device just above it, indicates that Washington, where's the, somewhere in here, I guess maybe here. This is the Hebrew valve, I think is what they're, this is a necklace, I think, with the Hebrew valve on it, which is the mark of the beast. But we can see here that here's the casket with the initiate laying in it, showing him that once he's dead, man, he's the walking dead. Right here's the Hebrew valve. Right here's the mark of the beast, and what's disguising it is the righteous Hebrew dalet right here, or the aleph. See this, when Satan puts them together, he's got good here and bad here, so the good was overshadowing the bad, so it was in disguise, hidden in plain sight. But just so you know, this is the creator of representation of the creator of the world. He is the all-seeing eye. He sees it without technology. Satan can only see things through cameras and things like that, but the creator of the world can see and has seen everything you've done. So you better confront him about it, face up to it now, and stay obedient as you can, and hope he forgives you. The Marquis de Lafayette of France presented George Washington with this Masonic apron, which is now preserved in the library of the Grand Lodge of Pennsylvania. In Philadelphia, it contains many occultic symbols, meaning of which presumably is reserved for higher level Masonic brethren. Many, however, are ousted and explained in this book to the charity, I am sure, of the Masonic Brotherhood. Kind of look like an American eagle. You think it kind of looks like American eagle? If you hadn't seen that video I just made on eagles, you should watch it, because there's a reason they chose the American eagle for America. Emblem of the Occultist Order of Cincinnati, also called the Society of Cincinnati, worn by elite members. The secret society met in private and was headed by George Washington himself. You can see the old eagle here. Artwork from a China set which displays symbols important to the Society of the Cincinnati, a secret order of elitist rich men begun after the Revolutionary War. Headed by George Washington, the symbol includes a strange crowned angel blowing a horn and a phoenix bird. Get my mouse to work. A phoenix bird with a torch aflame in its head, from which issues a swirling fire or sun sign. The Society of the Illuminati was eventually disbanded when public awareness, people start saying, man, these are some evil people, man. We got to do something about it. These are witches and warlocks, man. They'll be putting spells on our brothers and sisters and them not even know it. The Society of the Illuminati, this band, conspirators seem to be exercising undue control of governments. Man, these witches and warlocks, they infiltrated governments. I don't know what this was. Initiates of many occult societies, including Masons and Rosicrucians, select a mark peculiar to them which they affix to their signature. This is George Washington's signature. See if you can find his mark. See if we can find his mark. These little dots right here, I guess. We'll find out. I hadn't read down through here, but we'll find out. But maybe if somebody tried to forge his name, the person receiving this would say, okay, this is George, because somebody copying his name they'd probably think these were specks of dirt, so they wouldn't put it in the signature. Let's see what it says here. President George Washington takes the oath of office. I don't know if they're going to tell us. As the first president of the United States following the adoption of the U.S. Constitution by the states. The gentleman standing directly behind him is giving a decidedly diabolical version of a secret society hand sign. George Washington, Master Masons by Allen E. Roberts, McCoy Publishing, Masonic Supply Incorporated, Richmond, Virginia. Sketch. Let's see what we see here. He's got the hidden hand here standing behind George Washington. See, when they shake hands and things, if this man lets this man know that he's been marked, he knows that this man, they're just deceivers. Now, once they know they're going in the pit, man, somebody like this just wants to take as many with him as he can. He don't want to be in the pit by himself. Many paintings and drawings depicting delegates who drafted and approved the Declaration of Independence show one or more of the delegates secretly identifying his secret society membership through a hand signal. The name of Jesus is never mentioned in either of the Declaration of Independence or the subsequent United States Constitution. Instead, our nation's founders used vague, Illuministic code terms like nature's God. The Bible says Satan's the God of this world, so I wonder, or providence. Benjamin Franklin, a key leader of the delegates, was both a Grand Master Mason, Lodge of Nine Sisters, Paris, France, and a Rosicrucian. Thomas Jefferson, who helped draft the Declaration of Independence, wrote favorably of the Order of the Illuminati and its founder. European Jesuit. Trump is a Jesuit. He put Jesuits in the Supreme Court. He surrounded himself with Jesuits. Professor Adam Weishaupt. See right here? Washington, Freemason. Freemason. Your founding fathers were Christians, but the sad part is the Christian is on the wrong path. So it doesn't matter what path you're on. You could be on one of 100 paths, but if it's not the ancient path, if it's not the narrow path, it's a wrong path. All the paths lead to the same spot, except for one. And you better be on the one that Scripture says that you better be following. We can see here, this is some kind of a drawing of how tall Lincoln was. He was like, I forget how, like 6'4", maybe a little taller. Trump was real tall. And then he wore this magician hat on top of his head, which made him even tower above other people. So he was just like Trump. He was building his image. He wasn't just a meek man. This man had more portraits of him drawn than anybody else. I mean, he stayed in the papers, in the media. He got his name out there. And this hat, when he was standing in crowds of people, he would be noticed because he had the biggest hat of them all. Image. You can see here all the very high, powerful people, man. I mean, these are your people that decide what food you eat, how much gas you're allowed to get out of the gas pumps, how much electricity you can have, if any poisons go into your water supply. These are the people that are making those decisions for your well-being. U.S. Civil War officers displaying the Masonic sign of the Brotherhood of. Left is Major Robert Anderson and the Confederate Army, and at right is General George McClellan, Union General of the Army of Potomac. Photos from the Florida Mason. Look at him. Russian, however you say his name, 1818, 1880. Look at all these 8s. Ouroboros. Occult publisher of Moscow Gazette, Katkov, brought Hindu and Theosophy, excuse my pronunciation sometimes. Let me get a drink. Brought Hindu and Theosophy teachings to Russia. He had also published some books of Russian mystic Helena Blavatsky. Man, what an evil creature that is. Now you can see here that Abraham Lincoln was in the secret society, okay? These people has pledged an oath to death. So they're not going to talk. they've committed their soul to be damned or death if they do talk. So the person that supposedly killed Abraham Lincoln's John Wilkes Booth left. He's been seen with the hidden hand too. So these two people know each other, and notice that these people are actors. People, when Lincoln was shot, it was in a theater. What if it was part of the play? With his brothers in a production of Caesar in 1864, just a year before he assassinated President Abraham Lincoln. Booth and his elder brother Edwin were both members of the Masonic Lodge, but because of John Wilkes Booth's notoriety, the Freemasons quietly removed his name from their rolls. So it sounds like he might have been kicked out of the lodge. Maybe that's why he killed Lincoln. I don't know, but there's more to the story. To this day, the Scottish Rites Membership Office maintains that only Brother Edwin was a Mason. Photo from the book America Brutus by Michael W. Kaufman. Hidden Hand. This photograph of Lieutenant Elisha Hunt Rhodes is from the 1993 book entitled Masons at Gettysburg by Sheldon A. Munn. The caption above the photograph said that, I guess that's Lieutenant Rhodes, was a member and worshipful master. See, they're saying that they're worshipful. I'm so powerful that the people should be worshiping me. I'm a worshipful master. The equivalent of the lodge president of the Harmony Lodge Number 9, Cranston, Rhode Island. He was also the Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Rhode Island in 1892 through 1893. Don't let the right hand know what the left hand's doing. John Jay, chosen by President George Washington, confirmed by the newly assembled U.S. Senate to be the first Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States. Just like Trump did, people. They bring in their buddies. They're laughing at you. They're spending your tax. They're giving you a few little things. When you understand how much money comes in just from taxes, they're taking 90% of it and putting 10% of it back out in roads and stuff like that to keep the illusion going. And they're printing money, millions, probably by the minutes. Former Secretary of State Colin Powell holds hands with PLO leader Yasser Arafat as he covertly places his right hand in his coat, a sign to other initiates. Powell is a 33-degree Mason and Council on Foreign Relations alumnus. The late Arafat was also a member of the Masonic Lodge. So you've got these two people on the news acting like that they're negotiating out in the public eye when really they're both are slaves to who they committed their souls to. This guy belongs to Satan and so does this guy. So they're doing what Satan wants them to do. When you understand that people can actually channel these fallen angels and actually hear them speak in their mind, that's how musicians write songs. They'll channel these spirits. It's how the dark get their knowledge too, is channeling these spirits through scrying. Abraham Lincoln has been accused of scrying in a mirror. You'll see more about Lincoln. Powell was a 30-degree member of the Masonic Lodge. Both President Franklin Pierce above and President Rutherford B. Hayes below are acknowledged to have been Masons in their authored his book 10,000 Famous Masons, an official publication of the Supreme Mother Council, Scottish Rite Freemasons. They only make other Masons famous. All your musicians, all your famous people, they've all swore this allegiance. All of them. You don't get to play in Satan's kingdom unless you give up your soul. USA President Teddy Roosevelt, seen reviewing the troops on board a Navy ship, is giving the secret sign of the followers of God. Right there. Was it Teddy who once said, "Speak softly and keep your hand hid, keep your hand well hid"? Or was that "Speak softly and carry a big stick"? He's showing right here that if there's any Masons in this group, they know. They know he's a Mason. And that he's a slave. He's a slave to the Grand Master. Karl Marx. Many of you have seen his picture. Karl Marx, the Jewish radical who inspired Lenin and Trotsky with his communist theories, was secretly a high priest of Satan. Shown here in his official portraits, Marx is giving an enigmatic Masonic hand sign. Look at them, people. These are the people that rule over you. Satan's witches and warlocks. We've given their power over to them. We trusted these men when they told you right here, "I'm a liar. I'm a sneak. I'm a snake." General Paul von Hindenburg, the notable World War I German war hero of the Russian front, who won numerous victories later in the Nazi era, a blimp named after the general. The Hindenburg was destroyed by flames while attempting to land in New Jersey, USA, after a celebrated transatlantic flight. Many lives were lost. I first glanced there and it looked like Satan right there. Look at them. They are telling you the opposite of what the truth is. 3 red communist heroes who conspired to... Now, you're looking at Russia. You're looking at all these countries all showing this same hand side. They're all in the club, and you're not in it. You're not in it. It's just I think there's 6 million, probably 666,000 Freemasons supposedly in the world. So when you take the population of the world and put it comparable to the 6 million, man, they are way overpopulated and they know it. So if the truth ever gets out about who they are and the population rises up, they've even been quoted, I think President Bush Sr. was quoted saying they would lynch us in the streets if they ever knew what we did. But we'll go... These men saw to the purge, torture, and death of untold thousands before they in turn were wiped out by Stalin. Lewandowski is displaying his Masonic hand signal. Making right wears the Illuminati pilgrim hat. Look at him. I do as I'm told. I do as I'm told. I do as I'm told. 4 Gallup camp commanders note that all 4 are given the secret sign of Jewish Freemasonry, just as did communism's founding father, the Jewish Mason Karl Marx. Sculptor Augusta Bertholda was a member of Paris, France Grand Orient Lodge. It was Bertholdi, 1834-1940, sculpted the Illumina's monumental Statue of Liberty, which now graces the New York's harbor. The statue is replete with secret society coded messages and symbols of particularly blasphemous nature. Yet the vast majority of Americans adore the statue of lie. See the word lie here? L-I-E. The statue of lies. And naively see in her only virtue and goodness. Oh, look how majestic the Statue of Liberty is. In the mid-19th century, French writer Victor Hugo, author of Les Miserables, cut a huge swath in occult circles. Here we see the mystical-minded Hugo giving a clear hand sign of Masonic Luciferian design. It was Victor Hugo who wrote the story, The Man Who Laughs. They're mocking you. That's why they laugh. They laugh because you think you know the truth and they know that you don't. So they laugh. Fools! Fools! Have you ever seen the ritual at Bohemian Grove where that entity speaks out and it says, "Fools! Fools!" They're telling you the truth. My brothers and sisters will be destroyed from lack of knowledge. A fool does not seek out knowledge. So they are telling you the truth for once. About a boy whose face had been horribly shaped into a permanent smile by fetish cosmetic butchers. The clown. See, this is what they're saying is this person is so miserable inside because they have the Nephilim spirits has possessed this body, that the only way they could get him to smile was to actually cut his face into a smile, like the Joker movie, where he's got, who is that? Where he's got the blood on his face. Christian Bale, did he die or something? But the Joker. They're mocking you. The only way you'll be able, if you go through hell here on earth, the only way you'll be able to smile is go to a plastic surgeon and have him cut one end of your face, because you're going to be so miserable. In the mid-19th century, French writer Victor Hugo, author of The Grotesque Tale, was the basis for Batman's Joker. That's what I was just now talking about. Character. It was alleged that the Victor Hugo was not only a Rosicrucian, but was also a Grand Master of the occult order known as the Priory of Zion. Got the hidden hand. It's always the little ones that take on the world. Who can fight the beast? Can you? What if a beast takes his money away from you? Can you fight the beast? The only way we can fight the beast is through Yah's strength, through his extended arm. You better lean on him, and you better lean on him with everything in you. He is your only hope. Go buy all the cans of beans that you want. Go buy them. Buy thousands of them. Stock them up. Ain't nothing going to stand against his wrath. The only thing that stands against his wrath is for him to pull you out of his wrath. In this ad for Hitachi Electronics, Napoleon is using the left-hand path, dark occultism. What they're telling you about the left-hand path, when you look at the Star of David, you have an arrow pointing up and an arrowhead pointing down. They are getting their knowledge from underneath from the dark side. Knowledge comes from two sources. Dad gives us knowledge, and Satan also gives us knowledge. But Satan will use it against you if he gives it to you. Dad gives it to you freely. But of magic. It's all about magic, guys. You're under sorcery right now, and you don't know it. They've tricked you into lawlessness, and you can't even, most Christians can't even see it, and it's sad. Napoleon was also reputed to be an Illuminatus and an initiate into the greater mysteries of Areopagity degree. Know also the sun sign Maltese badge. I guess he's got a badge or something up here on him. I don't know. But one thing that these magicians do is, even in this portrait, see how one side of his face is light and one side is dark? He's showing you he has chosen his eye going down his arm into the dark path, which leads into this darkness underneath his jacket. This dark path. This is the path he's took. Intentionally took. He didn't get tricked into it or anything. He knew the truth, and he still chose this path for fame, fortune, and money. And signed his name in blood. It's a done deal. Dad says he'll honor your agreements and covenants that you make. He'll make sure you stand good for it. Now we find yet another indication of Napoleon's secret society involvement, wearing red, the color of Rothschild. See, this Rothschild is Ra's child. This is, just imagine this T and H not being here, and it's Ra's child. Amun Ra's child. These are descendants. These are Nephilim. And if they're not Nephilim, they're going to become Nephilim when they get their DNA changed. They think it's an upgrade, it's a downgrade. They're going to downgrade to 5, which is a beast. Napoleon signifies his left-hand path orientation, the symbology of 3-tower church in the background of the painting behind the curtain. See, he's showing you that there's one, just like in the Wizard of Oz, there's one that's running things behind the curtain, and these all have pledged allegiance to the darkness or deception. Signifies the boast that Napoleon, a political sovereign, is also Lord over the spiritual realm. Oh, look at him, little fat guy. Pudge belly, he's super cool, ain't he? He's super cool. In this famous painting of Napoleon, the emperor is depicted as using his right hand in giving the Royal Arch Mason hand sign. There he is again. Irish-American politician and author Ignatius Donnelly caused a sensation in 1882 with his book Atlantis, the Antediluvian World. Donnelly claimed scientific evidence for the existence of the fabled lost continents of Atlantis, which sunk under the sea, predecessor of modern civilization. Donnelly's book even contained a chart showing the alleged evolution of alphabets from the time of Atlantis to the eras of the Mayas, Egyptians, and Hebrews, etc. This Atlantis is probably the Garden of Eden, and it's probably, I think, maybe right there where the pyramids was. From the research and knowledge that I've seen, that's where I'm pointing to be the Garden of Eden, is the pyramids of Giza, Atlantis. See all the A's popping up out of the land there? The Illuminati and language, the original language. somewhere around the paleopictographs, the ancient paleopictographs. There's some say there's a little bit older, but they're close. The ancient paleopictographs. The Illuminati elite of today believe they are indeed descendants from the god-men and priests who alone escaped the tragic fall of fabled Atlantis. Genesis 6. They're saying that they're the sons from when the fallen angels came down and mated with the daughters of men. They're claiming to be the sons. More recently, Disney Studios did a movie, Atlantis, based on the theme. A movie saturated with esoteric codes and symbols. Well, I'd like to watch that. You're going to see a lot of stuff. Look at it. Crown Prince Alexander of Yugoslavia, who now resides in London, the city where his father, the late King Peter, fled during the Second World War, is shown on his first trip to Belgrade, Yugoslavia in 1991. His Royal Highness, along with his family, dutifully posed for this photo. All of these powerful people has given their souls up for money and fame. This man is, even though he's famous and got plenty of money, can buy yachts, is tormenting his mind. He can't enjoy it. He's just being tormented day and night, day and night, day and night. No peace, no peace, no peace. No matter how much money this man has, he can't buy peace. Peace isn't for sale. Peace is earned through obedience to Dad's Torah. Based on his hand's position, the Crown Prince clearly wanted his secret society associates in the Masonic occult world to know he was damned and one of them. And the elite's power has now been established in the former Soviet bloc nation. All around the world, guys, Satan is the god of this world. Let that sink in deep into your mind. Satan is the god of this world for now. For the time being. For just a little bit longer. And then Dad's coming back. The fabulous wealth Solomon Rothschild, founder and overseer of Vienna, Australia branch of the Rothschild clan. Rothschild. Almond Rothschild. How deeply was the Vatican and its black pope of the Jesuit order? The black pope at the Vatican, of course, they're both Jesuits. The black one and the white one, they're both Jesuits. Involved in the 1865 plot to assassinate President Abraham Lincoln. Guys, we can't believe any of this. We can't believe if he really was killed. They've got the art of deception. If he got killed, more likely he didn't get killed. That's how it works. Everything's a lie. It's turned upside down and backwards. If you haven't read the Jesuit Oath, pause this video and go read it now. And if you're not going to read the whole thing, at least read the red text, the actual oath that they take. Burke McCarthy is an extraordinary 1924 book. The suppressed truth about the assassination of Abraham Lincoln alleges that the powerful and influential Giacomo Antonelli, Cardinal and Secretary of the Papal States under Pope Pius IX, supervised the plot from afar and even hid a murderous associate of assassin John Wilkes Booth in the Vatican State, where he had fled to protect him from execution by American authorities who sought his extradition. So I'd say it's possible that the Pope might have wanted Abraham Lincoln dead, so he sends John Wilkes Booth to kill him, and then the way Satan works, once John Wilkes Booth committed the act, then the Pope sends another assassin in to kill John Wilkes Booth, so he can't tell. And maybe goes on down a little bit deeper, maybe kills the assassin, and then just works. Don't trust the devil. He's a backstabber. In the book, researcher McCarty includes this photo of Cardinal Anton Eli, without, however, explaining the obvious secret society hand sign. It's all about hand signs. Yep, got his fingers in his jacket right here. Here, he's chose the dark path. See, it's dark underneath his cloak. See, these are cloaks. Cloaking this magician. Cloaking this liar. This deceiver. They're cloaked. The greatest trick a magician is going to pull is pulling the trick and you not knowing he's even a magician. See, you got people like Chris Angel and stuff, they get up and make money off of doing magic and things like that, but imagine if you just put him in a suit and a tie, combed his hair down, and put him in a big corporation or in front of a bunch of people, and he was deceiving them without them even knowing that he was a magician, even doing a magic trick. Organ, 185 to 254 AD, is often called an early church father. Here's your early church father, the father of the churches, father of maybe Christianity, father of maybe religion. But in fact, Origen brought many heresies, including Gnosticism, Illuminist ideology, into the church. Origen, a much quoted scholar, hailed from Alexandria, Egypt, giving us yet another clue to his heretical philosophies in this revealing pen and ink drawing. It appears that Origen's left hand is demonstrating the mysterious sign of an ancient secret society. And you can see, got it, hidden hand. Really hard on the blacks when they would bring in a black brother and initiate him into the order, because he could go out and deceive his other black brothers and sisters. Notice that in a suit, when you pull the suit over, here is the Hebrew Vav. The head of this man is here, and it's showing that he's going down. Let's look at this issue here. The killing of the king, Masonic symbolism in the JFK assassination. This issue of the intriguing publication Paranoia magazine included a feature article examining the tragic life of the popular young actor River Phoenix, who died of drug overdose on Halloween 1993. The article's writer, Al Hiddle, told the Phoenix upbringing in the sordid sex cult known as the Children of God, also called the Family. You know, I've got a 22-year-old son that's out in the world. Man, he's struggling, you know, in the crazy world we live in. It feels like everybody's betrayed him. But these drug addicts and things, when somebody's humble and on, you know, down and out, man, wandering around, these drug addicts and stuff, they'll run up, hug your neck. Hey, man, we love you. You're part of the family. See, they want to bring you into that family they got. The ones going in the pit. They love you, man. Love you all the way in the pit. Help you in. You know, if you trip and fall and maybe not make it quite into the pit, you know, they'll come over and assist you, help you get on in there. The cult practiced incest. This is big in Satanism. They love incest. Keep it in the family, so to speak, or ancestral bloodline. Holy prostitution and other wickedness. River Phoenix, who was celebrated for his roles in such movies as Stand By Me and Running on Empty, evidently could not escape his past. Why he is shown in the photo giving the sign of masonry is not mentioned in the magazine, but some authorities say that Children of God leader David Berg had high-level political and Masonic lodge connections. You can see his hand sign here. And one eye's been darkened. All your celebrities, most of them, you can find a photograph of them with one eye darkened. I think Satan knocks them in one eye to darken that eye. Lloyd Shearer Wright, who's actor James Dean in the early 1950s, wrote the famous column Walter Scott's Personality Parade in the Parade magazine. My dad always, in goofing off in restaurants and things, he'll put his name down as James Dean. I wonder if he'd still do it if he knew this man right here was a Satan puppet. A puppet? Does my dad want? I mean, I don't want to call him dad because y'all says call no one dad but me. So the one that donated his seed so I could experience hell here always claims to be this man, this one that's damned to the pit. Who we got here? Who we got coming up here? Who are you, sir? War is hell, said the crusty and brutish Union General William Tecumseh Sherman, shown here displaying the sign of the cult in his official U.S. Army photo. Hundreds of civilians was massacred during Sherman's fiery march through the South. Satan is very proud of this man here. He sacrificed how many? Hundreds. He sacrificed hundreds of men to Satan, to Baal. What we got here? It's going back into Egypt. 3 regal figures belonging to a Nubian temple each carries the Egyptian Ankh, signifying rebirth and reincarnation, in one hand. Other symbols are also seen. Drawing book The Round Towers of Atlantis by Henry O'Brien, Adventures Unlimited Press, Kempton, Illinois. See, when you understand that the word Ra is evil, when the Hebrew word Ra is evil, so when somebody says Ra, Ra, Ronnie, my earthly father, I'll use the word father, not, I call him dad, and I'll call my earthly father Ronnie, but evil Ronnie. That's what this poster is really saying. Evil. I'm not saying my dad's evil, but he eats bacon, so Dad says he's evil, and he worships on Sin Day, and he don't keep a 4-day set apart. So the Creator of the world says he's evil. I don't. But again, this poster says evil Ronnie. A Republican Party convention souvenir depicting President Ronald Reagan. The website offering it for sale describes it thusly: from the 1984 convention, a smiling Ronnie in a Napoleonic stance. Reagan was given the honorary 33 degree by Scottish Rite leaders in a private ceremony conducted in the lame duck president's oval, should we say, evil office in Washington, D.C., just weeks before his second and final term ended. The author has a picture of this ceremony in his files. What an article. Would you agree? Scripture says to know Satan's schemes, so therefore you won't be outwitted. Do you know Satan's schemes? Do you know Satan's a Christian? Satan is a Christian to its exact definition. Don't obey the laws, just hang them on a cross. You can eat what you don't. It don't matter if you want to eat pork, you can eat it. You're a God to yourself. As Aleister Crowley says it, do as thou wilt. But let's see what else we've got in the treasure. I'm going to show you who this God is that they worship. Let's see if it resembles three unclean spirits. There's actually people that probably has channeled what the creature looks like. Let's see. Let's see what their king looks like. Boy, they got so many. When you understand these letters and the symbols associated with it, these you can see the light, what they really mean. You can see them all here. Joseph Stalin, man. Imagine how proud Satan is of this man. He killed millions. But let's get up here and see if we can get a picture of this old critter. Here's one. Here's their God. Look at him. See the Masonic floor down here? Ain't he cute? Look at him. He's just as cute as he can be. I'll smack that smile right off his face. Demon. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Three gods in one right here. Y'all says I'm the only one. He's the only one, guy. Ain't nobody else could do nothing for you. You could put 10 gods together in this little bunch right here and they couldn't do nothing. Y'all's gonna step on this toad and smash his brains out. He's gonna get these two when he does. There he is. Let's see if we can find any more. Oh, look at him. Look at him. Pinocchio. See how long his nose is? Maybe this is what Dad turned old Satan into. See, he's going to crawl on his belly and eat dust all his life. Maybe this. Trump says he's coming back in a different form. If he can look anything like this critter. Let's see. I thought there was some more. I mean, you know, when you Google it, I mean, all I done was typed in that word right there, and let's just kind of see. You know, we see this image here. That's their God. See? He got many forms. See how the Masons, they see these righteous people. See the sons of light. Don't they look like good guys? Let's see what else we can. Here's a Masonic almanac. That would be interesting to you don't reckon they're doing any magic or anything on you, do you? You think this is all just hogwash, just a kid drawing with a compass and square, I guess, huh? No, they wouldn't be putting no voodoo on you or nothing. Look at it. Let's see what. Yeah. Looks like he's trying to find a different path. Look at old George Washington and Baphomet. They could be brothers. Let's see. Look at them. Here's an old Egyptian symbol that you don't reckon they about. It ain't all about sex. The Egyptians didn't think so. They thought it was all about sex. He's onking his onk. Getting his onk onked. Let's see here. What's this one? Oh, let's see what. Who is this here? Factor fiction. Let's see. Some interesting images. Let's see. There's bloodlines of the Illuminati. DuPont. You know, you buy your DuPont paint. Let's see. Oh, look here. Let's see. Yeah, that's why check this out. You don't reckon they'd mock the creator of the world, do you? Let's see what they say right here. Let's see. You don't reckon they would mock the creator? Fallen angels surely wouldn't mock the creator. Let's see. Or you. No, they love you. Trump loves you. Trump loves you. You just know it. This Christmas, you just wait. He's going to get you a good present because he loves you. On Nimrod's birthday, he'll send you a nice present. He loves you. Trust me. Trust me, he loves you. See what these words say. I hate to even say these words. Dad, if I do read them out loud, I ain't sure if I might just let y'all read them. Let me get them up here big. I'll just let y'all read them. I don't want to. I'll read this. I'll highlight it and how sweet. These are some nice guys. I didn't realize the Masons were so nice. They help little children into the back of vans and then take them out, rape them, torture them, and then kill them and drink their blood. See it? See where they say blaspheme his name? Oh, they're saying he's dead. Look here. Wonder why they'd say the creator's dead. Look here. Talking about the sheep. Talking about you. Talking about you. Look what they're doing. Look what they say. Oh, Christian. Oh, Christians. You've been duped. You've been what Scripture calls bamboozled. The voodoo. The voodoo. I'm going to end it there. I hope it even recorded. Don't take the vaccine. It's the mark of the beast. There is no hope once you take it. Don't take the jab. The venom in your veins. The price will be very, very painful if you take the mark. I encourage you, if you haven't watched part one, watch part one, because this rabbit hole goes deep, guys. I don't know how many more videos I could make on this. I had to just pull up, 6 or 7 sources and work off of them, but you're being controlled by witches in high places, warlocks in high places like Supreme Court, high places like presidencies, high places like vice presidents. These are witches, people. Understand it. Here's part one. Get it to pull up here. But I encourage you guys to drop over here and watch this part one if you hadn't seen it already. Oh, it wasn't what I was looking for. But anyway, it was there. Witchy or Warlocks in the Whitehouse. Go check it out, guys. Please subscribe, share, and click on the little bell icon and run to the mountains. Yah is sending out the 4 horsemen. You got to realize Yah sending these 4 horsemen to the world. They're coming. In fact, one's already rode. The one's riding now. The pale horse is the V-Nation. I'll say it like that. And it's the Venom. And then Hades is what's coming in behind them, which is going to be Death. Estimating about 1 out of 4 of you ain't going to make it. Yeah, about 1 out of 4, I'd say. If you look around, go out to the grocery store and look around, because you got 25% chance of well, I guess you got probably a 75% chance of making it on this first rider. But it's gonna get slimmer and slimmer. Thanks for watching, and shalom.